Hey guys, I'm here again today to review another book. This book is called Careering, and it's by Tamara Raymond. And boy, was this a great book. And look how tiny it is. It's called a pocket guide, so it's about the size of your hand, but it is full. I mean, just full of great information. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Melanie with Parenting High Schoolers, and I'm here today to talk about careering. What does that mean, and what does it have to do with our teenagers? So I have some notes here that I took while I was reading, and I just want you first of all to know that Tamara is a certified leadership coach and a career strategist. She's got an amazing career. I will put the link to her website below, as well as the link to her book, which again is this tiny little thing, but it is chock full of information. If you like my videos, if you would share them with your friends, I am here weekly to talk about raising teens, to do our best, to help them do their best. I really appreciate any likes and subscribes. Thanks a lot. Okay, some of the things that she starts off by saying is, I wish that I had tried, or I wish that I had known. And these are quotes from people our age, or even some younger, that just didn't know all the things that they needed to know before they started their career. And so she put together this guide for parents and their teenagers to sort of work through this process of careering, figuring out what your career is going to be based on all kinds of things. Careering is, I'm going to read this because this is right out of the book, the process of taking progressive action in pursuit of a profession or venture. So by starting young, when your kid is a teenager, they are going to be so far ahead of the game. They're going to get a leg up. They're going to get a head start on all of their friends that aren't even thinking about this yet, or just have no clue, which is, I think, really a typical story in many households, because even us as parents that are in the working world, we just don't know what all there is out there. The kids, the teens, they need to start thinking, what are their interests? What are they good at? What do they like? What have they heard about? All those things they need to start maybe keeping track of. Maybe make a list. You know me, I'm big on communicating with your teen. Maybe this needs to be a conversation that you have them start keeping track of things that look appealing to them, so that you can make a plan from there. Okay, as your teen works their way through middle school and high school, they are actually already prepping for their career. Unbelievable, right? So how is that possible? Well, when they join clubs, when they're in extracurricular activities, when they're in sports, all of those add up to experiences that help their career in the future. And it's hard to realize that, but they're learning things like sticking to a program. In sports, they're learning how to be on time, how to work hard, how to listen to a coach, which transfers into a boss at some point. Volunteering is a great thing. Future employers are looking for kids that have put in volunteer hours for different organizations because they want to know that their employees are giving back to the community. Summer camps, seasonal or entry-level jobs, internships, all of these things are possible when you have a teenager. I actually recently spoke about a video, or on a YouTube video, I think actually last week, about getting a part-time job when you haven't been hired by anyone yet. So let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so your teen needs to use their resources, use the people in their life that know more. They need to use you guys as the parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, friends of the family, teachers. Find people that are in different careers that they can talk to, that they can ask questions of, or that even you can, to kind of find out a little bit more to pass on to your teen, to say, well, this is what so-and-so had to say about this job. You know, as you guys are having these conversations, which is my big thing, have a conversation with your teen today. These are all ways for them to sort of start to learn more about a certain job or a career path. Books, libraries, coffee shops, LinkedIn, recruiting events, all of these are ways that your child can find out about jobs. I think you have to be 16 to set up a LinkedIn profile, and they need to get it started. Get a good headshot, or at least a good picture of just their face. Write down the clubs that they have been in high school. It is not too young to put that kind of stuff down. Write down their GPA if it's worthy. Any volunteering, all the things that are going to eventually go on their resume, they could put in LinkedIn. And then if someone is looking at them for a job, they could say, well, my LinkedIn profile is up to date. It's a great way to start. As your child is looking for jobs, they need to, like I mentioned, books, libraries, coffee shops, LinkedIn, recruiting events, community events, sporting events. In the grocery store, there's usually a bulletin board with help wanted ads. Just ask their friends, ask their friends' parents, do you know of anyone that has a job that's hiring? Right now, with the times being what they are, unbelievably, there are so many jobs available. And even if the job they choose now isn't necessarily what they want their career to be, it is still great for them to get that experience of applying, writing a resume maybe, going through an interview process. Then also, if they get the job, just those on-the-job skills, such as answering phones, being on time, working hard, asking questions. Those are all soft skills that future employers in the career that they maybe will pick, those are going to be gold, because some kids don't even work until after high school or college. So any child that has had a job, I know my boys started at 15 having jobs. Every experience has been really good for them. It may not have been jobs that they loved. In fact, a couple of them were jobs they hated. But what a great life lesson that you're not going to love or even really like every job that you have. Okay, applying for jobs. Do some research. If there is a job or an internship that your child knows that they really want, they need to do some research. They need to find out about that company. Are they hiring? What are their expectations? What is the mission of the company? These are all good details for your child to know if they get to the point where they are in an interview session with someone and they already know a lot of things about the company already. That is amazing. I know my son reached out to a company in college. He needed an internship and he reached out to this company and he had done a ton of research and he gave them all this feedback on their website and the things that he really liked about it and how he felt like it was culturally relevant and just things that he had thought about when he was talking about the company as he sent an email. And usually this company evidently doesn't hire interns. But the owner said, I'm going to hire this guy because he's given me more feedback in an email wanting just an internship than I've gotten back from employees. So that was a great way for him to just get in there and get a job. So I highly recommend that. It does work. My son is proof. Let's see. I've already talked about that. All right. Practice interviewing. So let's say your son or daughter gets an interview, which amazing. That's so awesome. But it's kind of scary. So my boys went through Boy Scouts, and so they are familiar with interviewing with Scoutmasters and then Board of Reviews. So they're comfortable talking to adults, but a lot of kids don't have that experience. So what you want to do with your child is practice some interview skills. And that's one thing Tamara has, I hope I'm saying her name right, has in her book are some practice questions. So you could have your child go over those questions and then you guys do a little role playing, which I'm huge on. I mean, I started this when my kids were toddlers. If there's a new situation coming up in their life, like, even silly things like going to the dentist, we would practice what that might look like and questions that they might have. So when your teenager is going through some of these new things like dating or driving or interviewing, do some role playing and really help them become more comfortable, at least with that back and forth conversation with an adult. Once they've practiced with you, have them practice with another adult or maybe 2 or 3. Maybe a close family friend that would be willing to practice them. And then maybe someone that you know would be comfortable doing this and helping your teen. Have your teen do this with this friend of yours that they don't know. So it is a stranger to them, but you know this person. All of these things will go so far to helping your child be comfortable in an interview and hopefully getting a job. All right, so she puts great questions, like I said, practice questions in the book. So utilize those. Okay, once the interview is over, whether you find out whether you have the job or not, your teen needs to send a thank you. Preferably in a snail mail. So they need to find out what the address is and they need to know the name of the person that interviewed them and send just a quick, 2 or 3 sentences is enough. And help them write this. Go over some things that maybe need to be said. Maybe they forgot to say something in the interview. They could add that in. And it's just a way to get in front of those people again, and in a way that probably most kids are not doing. Okay, you got the job. Your team gets the job. Awesome. Congratulations. Here's some things that they need to do. They need to be ready to listen. They need to be ready to work hard. They need to be on time. They need to ask, what are the expectations? What is the dress code? What's the pay scale? All that. Don't tell them not to be scared to ask as many questions as they have. And maybe you help them again. This is why, parenting is so massively important, because we can help them think through what are some questions that they might have. And then as the job becomes ongoing, they can continue to ask questions if they need to. One thing that I have suggested to my boys over and over is ask, if you've been there a couple weeks, is there anything that you see that I could do better? Or is there anything you would rather I didn't do that you've seen me do? To get feedback, and they needed to be ready to listen to the answers too, because in a couple situations they were both told in different ways that they were missing out on doing something, but their boss appreciated them asking. Stay in communication with, have your team stay in communication with their boss. They need to pay attention. They need to do their best. They need to look for work. If there is a dead time, they're not just supposed to sit there and get on their phone. They need to look around. Oh, there's a whole stack. Does this need to be filed? Could I do that for you? File the papers. Is there something new I could learn how to do so that the next time you need some time, I could be doing whatever this new skill is or new job. All of those things go to being busy and having a better time, because it's horrible to be bored at a job. Also, they could be a runner. Do you need me to take something to someone else in the building? Those are great ways for them to meet other people and network at the office and still be working. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. But just let them learn and grow. And these are also great conversations for you to talk with your kids, not every night, but how was your day? Did you do anything new today? Have them, it's kind of nice for them to be able to process these new skills and new experiences that they're having with you. And finally, the website for Tamara, I'm so sorry, I should have found out how to say her name, is www.imcleaders.com. And I'll put the link to that below as well, so that if you want to click onto that to find out more about her and what she does, that would be great. Like my video, give me a thumbs up, and have a great day.